10 times, 10 separate incidents spanning 20 years. That is how many times Boeing logged a failure on the exact same engine mount bearing on the MD-11 fleet. 10 separate incidents spanning 20 years. And every single time the conclusion was the same: not a safety of flight issue. Move on. Then on November 4th, 2025, a UPS MD-11 freighter lost its entire left engine on rotation out of Louisville. The engine did not malfunction. It did not catch fire first. It physically separated from the wing. And last week, the National Transportation Safety Board sat down for 2 days and dropped 6,000 pages of evidence explaining exactly how that happened. Here is what the media missed. This was not a story about metal fatigue. It was not even really a story about Boeing. It was a story about a maintenance system that is specifically designed to produce compliant paperwork. And what happens when compliant paperwork and an airworthy aircraft are no longer the same thing? Let me take you inside how this actually works. When a major cargo carrier like UPS sends an aircraft overseas for what is called a heavy maintenance check, think of it as a full strip down and rebuild of the airframe, they are not sending their own mechanics. They are buying a contract from a foreign repair station. In this case, a facility operating under what the FAA calls a Part 145 certificate. That certificate authorizes them to perform maintenance on behalf of U.S. carriers. Now here's where it gets important. That repair station executes what are called task cards, step-by-step instructions for every inspection and maintenance action. And the task card system sounds thorough. It looks thorough on paper, but the task card only covers what the airline contracted and paid for. If the work scope says visual inspection of pylon area, that mechanic is doing a visual inspection. They are not pulling components. They are not running eddy current testing on a spherical bearing. They are not measuring play in a mounting assembly, because nobody paid for that. And in the cost-cutting world of heavy maintenance outsourcing, if it is not on the card, it does not happen. The NTSB docket confirms that the failed engine mount component on this aircraft had not undergone a physical detailed inspection since 2021. 4 years. Multiple task cards signed off as compliant in the meantime. The paperwork said the aircraft was fine. The hangar floor told a different story. And this is something I have seen play out across this industry my entire career. When an airline starts cutting corners on maintenance costs, the paperwork does not change. The paperwork always looks right. What changes is what is actually happening beneath the paperwork. A signed task card means someone completed the contracted scope of work. It does not mean someone found every defect on that aircraft. Now layer on top of that what Boeing admitted during this hearing: 10 prior failures of the exact same aft pylon spherical bearing across the global MD-11 fleet, logged in the service difficulty report database over 20 years, and never correlated into a mandatory safety action. Why? Because different facilities coded the exact same component under different names. One logged it as a bearing, another logged it as a pylon mount. Another called it a bushing. The FAA's database never connected the dots because the industry never standardized how it entered the data. A killer flaw was hiding in a naming convention. The FAA's response to all of this is a system called the Safety Assurance System, a data-driven remote auditing framework. What that means in practice is that FAA inspectors are reviewing electronic records and system metrics from offices in the United States. They are not physically present in foreign hangars with a flashlight. They are not watching a mechanic put their hands on a spherical bearing in Singapore. The oversight model assumes the data is accurate. This investigation just proved that assumption has limits. And here's the thing about the MD-11 specifically. This aircraft has a history. The DC-10 family has been a complicated platform since the 1970s. The pylon design, the engine separation risk, the maintenance demands on an aging trijet airframe. None of this is new information. What is new is that an operator was still running these aircraft commercially in 2025, and the industry's maintenance and oversight infrastructure was not keeping pace with what that actually required. UPS has now announced the retirement of its entire remaining MD-11 freighter fleet. And I will tell you exactly what I think that decision means. They knew the FAA was going to come down hard on MD-11 maintenance requirements after this investigation. Mandatory modifications, reclassified structural elements, massively increased inspection intervals. The cost of keeping those airframes compliant going forward would have been enormous. So rather than spend that money, they decided to retire the fleet entirely. That is not a safety decision. That is a financial calculation. And it tells you everything about how the industry actually manages aging aircraft risk. Now the question that matters going forward: Does this problem exist beyond the MD-11? The answer is yes. Every major airline, cargo and passenger, uses foreign Part 145 repair stations for heavy maintenance. The cost differential between domestic and overseas maintenance is significant. That is not going to change. What has to change is the oversight model. The NTSB is now pushing for mandatory safety management systems at all third-party repair stations. The European Aviation Safety Agency already requires this. The FAA explicitly excluded repair stations from its most recent safety management system expansion. That gap between what EASA demands and what the FAA requires is now the center of a regulatory battle that will reshape how airlines manage maintenance outsourcing for the next decade. Here's the pattern I have watched repeat itself throughout this industry. When something goes catastrophically wrong, everyone tightens up. Rules get written, oversight gets real. And then, over time, when everything looks stable again, things start to slip. Budgets get trimmed, inspections get rescheduled, task cards get signed off on a walkthrough instead of a teardown, and the cycle starts again. 6,000 pages of evidence just proved that the cycle ran its course on the UPS MD-11 fleet. The bearing failure was not a surprise. The oversight gap was not a surprise. What is a surprise is that it took this long for the consequences to land. If you want the real story behind how aviation actually works, not just the headlines, subscribe to AirOps Control and hit the bell. We cover this stuff every week because the industry deserves more than surface-level reporting. The paperwork said this aircraft was airworthy. The runway at Louisville said something different. And 6,000 pages of federal evidence are now making sure the industry cannot look away from what that gap actually costs.